So now since we know all of the info for Crunchyroll Heim, including banner info and what her Kitsune Rising does, let's discuss if you should be pulling for her or if you should save until the One Punch Man Season 2. So let's go over all the units so we can make a good estimate whether or not you should pull. So we have Hero Fest Adventure. Hero Fest Adventure is the Hero Fest that will be with Crunchyroll Heim. Crunchyroll Heim's Hero Fest literally only had Ghoul, Crunchyroll Heim herself, and Mixie. That's it. Let's talk about these units. Ghoul himself is a dark breaker. He is really good. Now there isn't any banner or any images or anything like that, so I have to go off the actual unit info and not any picture, so there won't be any picture up on screen. Ghoul himself, with his skill, he's able to increase his break power and attack every time the skill is used up to a maximum of 60%. 8-second cooldown on that, by the way. He has his normal art, which has a chance of blinding, a high chance of blinding, let me say. Also reduces the enemy's break resistance by 30% for 12 seconds. He also has his true art, which is 31,200% dark damage magic. Increase all allies damage during break by 150%. He is a really good breaker. Personally, to me, I love this guy. He's one of my favorite breakers in the entire game. I love his design and everything, and overall his entire kit I just really love. Now moving on to the goddess Mixie. She's not really a goddess, she's a demon, but still. So what Mixie's entire gimmick is around is her negating damage or countering damage, and that's pretty much her whole gimmick. So her skill, she will start twirling her umbrella, and that means that you will enter your counter stance. Whenever you enter your counter stance, if anything hits your umbrella, okay, you will counter with that. So you will counter with a skill that does 1800% light damage magic with a high chance of poisoning the enemy. So that's really good, especially for what Mixie does. She wants to poison the enemy. Her normal art is pretty much the same thing. Her normal art will deal some damage though if you are just using it, but if you are able to get the counter attack off when using it, you reduce the enemy's defense by 100% for 12 seconds, which isn't as good as critting, but it does somewhat what crits does, because crits ignore 100% of defense. It just doesn't give you the crit multiplier. And then her true art is 26,000% light damage magic, reduce enemies poison resistance by 100% and light resistance by 30% for 12 seconds, able to buff up your light damage by a lot and able to buff up your poison units by a lot, or her specifically. And also, just to tie this all in, why do you want to poison with her? It's because of her demon ability. She has light and dark resist 20% up and crit rate 100% up to poison enemies. Now this one actually will have a picture since there is one actually here. So finally we have Crunchyroll Heim, Awoken Crunchyroll Heim. Crunchyroll Heim's skill is of course 1800% fire damage magic, chance of burning the enemy, 7-second cooldown, 600 break, normal art 16,000% fire damage physical, increase all allies crit rate by 50% and fire units attack by 50% for 10 seconds, true art consume spirit, 40,000% fire damage magic, increase all allies evasion rate by 15% and auto recovery by 450 for 15 seconds, 2,900 break. Her abilities are as follows: Green 20% up, player XP from quest 10% up, and Kitsune Rising, which was the ability that I didn't know what it did. I knew it revived you, but I hope it was doing more, and it doesn't. It just revives you with 50% HP only once. So OP. With all that being said, what do you think about this banner and this unit specifically? Crunchyroll Heim, I want to say right off the bat, is a tier unit. She's definitely A tier. I said S tier at first because I was heavily waiting that she was going to get some type of innate art gen with Kitsune Rising. She didn't. So with that being said, even with that, would she have been S tier? Probably not, because she doesn't have any type of art gen and she's kind of trying to fill that support / healer role. So there is that. She's a really good offensive healer, I will say though. She does have some pretty good defensive buffs as well, you know, like evasion rate, but she is a offensive healer, I want to say, especially for fire units, because you're able to increase attack and crit rate with your normal art. You're also able to give you the HP auto recovery, which is very nice. But overall though, she's an A tier unit, and here is my final thoughts, you know, on her specifically. If you are pulling on this banner specifically for her, I think you have a good chance of getting her, personally, because there's only 3 banner units on this banner. You have a pretty good chance of getting her. So I would at least say do one multi trying to get her, because, you know, she is a Crunchyroll crossover exclusive, which I'm pretty sure won't come back, hopefully never, because this is, I don't know, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But still, Crunchyroll Heim, I would say at least do one summon on it. Don't chase her because she's not like an S tier unit. Now, as for the other units on the banner, what do I think about them? All the other units on the banner are A tier as well. Pretty much this is just a solid A tier banner. Really solid banner overall. If you're a new player, you can benefit from all of these units. If you're more of a veteran player, you probably can't because you probably already have them, more than likely, because you've been playing the game for so long. Like I said, overall, this banner is not that big. I would recommend you pull on it at least once because this is a crossover quotation marks unit. I kind of hope that this unit is a little bit better in actual gameplay than what we're seeing just right now, because I can see her doing some good damage. It's just that what she's kind of doing is just a healer, and I know fire units needed a healer, or if the fire team needed a healer, but at the same time you also have to think too that yeah, we got Crunchyroll Heim, but that means JP will probably get a fire healer too, which means we'll get a fire healer, and that fire healer will probably be better than Crunchyroll Heim. That's my thought process, at least currently. So yeah, but other guys, that's it. Final verdict: do one summon on it. Don't chase any units. That's my verdict. Do the free summon. That's it. If you already have War Ghoul and Mixie, I would say don't even do it, to be honest. But that's my final verdict. I don't think Heim's good enough for you. The only reason I could say the only way I can say that Crunchyroll Heim is like a must get is if like you just absolutely love Mono Fire and you need this Mono Fire healer. That is the only way I could see her being a must-have unit. Apart from that, I would say for everybody else, you can easily skip this banner. You don't even have to do the first summon. You can easily skip it or just do one summon and that's it. So yeah. Important though, guys, thank you all for coming out, man. It's Pretty Bro Pete. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Summers content on the channel. And I'm out, guys. Peace.